Today I'm reviewing this book called Chess for Children, and my husband actually knows a lot more about chess than I do, so he's going to be doing the review.
Hello, I'm Caroline's lovely assistant. So this is Chess for Children. I think this is the best book for teaching children chess. Just to show you by comparison, so first of all, the size, right? So this is Chess for Children. This is sort of a typical chess book, which is sort of like the size of a novel you would read in bed at night. And this is the famous and excellent 4Kids series from Gambit. That is sort of a larger form factor. It's hardback, comfortable to read. So this is Chess for Children, right? So this is for children. This is for a child to learn their chess for the very first time. I'm talking like a 6-year-old child. And it's nice and big. It's got cartoons and stuff in it. They're fine. It's got nice big diagrams in it. I think it's more appropriate for a parent teaching a child, but you could sit there and look at this book with the child together. 7-year-old or so, 6 or 7-year-old that can read could probably go through the book on their own. It's got great diagrams. It's got great sort of exercises, like once you learn how the pieces move, to say like, okay, which pieces are being attacked by the rook, for example, which pieces are being attacked by the bishop. It has sort of the typical structure of all these Gambit for kids books, where it gives you the basic information and then a few simple exercises to sort of crystallize the knowledge in your head, to make it active, because that's the way you're actually going to have to use the knowledge when you're playing chess games. I'd like to really point out on page 23, it's got these mini chess games. I used a different book I can't find in print anymore that use these mini chess games, starting with the pawn game, and there's also a Mad Queen game that's not in here. But the pawn game, for example, is you just put the pawns on the board. The first, and they move legally. White moves first, as always, and then the first person to get a pawn all the way across the board wins. And so you're learning a subset of the game. You're learning how the pawns move. You're learning how to do pawn structure, how they support each other, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if the Mad Queen game is on here, but the Mad Queen is a similar thing, except it's all the pawns against a queen, right? And so if the queen gobbles up all the pawns, the side with the queen wins. If the pawn gets across, then the side with the pawns wins. But I would really recommend sort of pausing at page 22, and playing several of these mini games with your child before continuing to help them crystallize the chess knowledge. Because a lot of times, the kids want to learn how all the pieces move, and they want to play a full chess game, and it's just too much information for them to assimilate and actually use in chess games. But this is pretty much a complete beginning chess course, right? So it goes right from learning how all the pieces move all the way through to learning notation. So you're learning how to record chess games so that you can read notation. Here you see, if you play in tournament chess, there's lots of scholastic tournaments for kids. In tournament play, you have to record your moves. And so here, this is an example of a score sheet that you would use to record your moves. It progresses through to the value of the pieces, and then basic attack and defense, like counting how many defenders a piece has, how many attackers you have attacking that piece. Can you take that piece? And after all the exchange is done, will you be ahead in material, or will your opponent be ahead in material? These are the very basic things that you need to be thinking about as a beginning chess player. So my point there is that it hits all of the basics. So your child is gonna have a firm foundation to build on if they go through this book. How far does it go? It goes all the way through to basic goes all the way through to basic checkmating patterns and even very basic tactics, forks, pins, skewers, and discoveries, so that you could then move on to a very basic, sort of your first chess workbook. Like there's one called Everyone's First Chess Workbook, which is what I would recommend as a follow-on to this book. And yes, so I highly recommend this. This is the book that I would have taught my children with. I used a different book. This wasn't in print yet. Teaching my niece and nephew with this book now.